Hey, podcast fans, we've got big news. Tickets and tables for the 2025 Axis Connects Leadership Forum are officially on sale.
That's right. On November 25th in Calgary, we're bringing together leaders from across industries for a full day of conversation, connection, and change.
You'll hear from world-class speakers and have the opportunity to join panels and fireside chats on the issues shaping leadership today, from navigating politics and gender equity to building inclusive workplaces and driving innovation in a changing economy.
The forum is more than just a conference. It's a chance to connect with peers, meet new allies, and walk away with insights you can apply immediately to your organization.
Tickets are limited and tables are selling fast.
Head to accessconnects.com to grab your tickets or reserve a table. And don't wait too long. This event sells out every year.
Join us November 25th. Be part of the conversation and be part of the change. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Quiet Part Out Loud. I'm Alec.
And I'm Nuvyn.
And today we're talking about ageism.
Ageism. I feel like this is another one of those really controversial topics. Like, remember when we did the economics of thinness? We got a lot of amazing and not so amazing feedback from that, which is great because the purpose of this is for people to think about things in very different ways. But ageism is another one. And when we came across some of this data, I was struck by it, not surprised though, but that it's actually younger women that experience more ageism in the workplace than older women.
Yes. We found a study that from McKinsey & Co. that said when we think of ageism, we think of examples that happen to women later in their careers. But this report said that it's actually happening to women below age 30 at a much higher rate. Mm-hmm. So women in the workplace, McKinsey and leanin.org report that 49% of women under 30 say they've experienced ageism, compared to 38% of women over 60. So gender bias affects this group significantly. Data shows that young men are likely to be promoted based on potential, while young women are promoted based on what they've already accomplished.
Yeah, that rings true. And I mean, you hear it even now just in random conversations with people when someone is talking about their accomplishments or what they've done or their role. And so often, and I think it's more of an innocent gesture around like, oh, but you look so young. Oh, but you must be so young. People used to say that to me all the time in my roles. Oh, but like, how old are you? Or you're, and I remember like at the University of Calgary, I was the youngest person by quite a bit on the executive leadership team. And everybody knew that. No one let me forget it. Like, it was reiterated many times.
Yeah, and I think some comments like, oh, you've already done so much. Like, how old do you think I am? You're so successful for how old you are. And it's like, well, I'm not going to tell you how old I actually am. But I think it's really interesting, just this concept around how women now are acting in the workplace, right? Because we feel like we are constantly having to prove ourselves, which is possibly because we do.
Yeah. Another interesting thing that this study found was that one of the biggest inequities was actually at the start of one's professional journey between men and women. And that is that step up from being an individual contributor in the team to a management position is most imbalanced between men and women, because at those levels, there often isn't a lot of structural components that might be put into place from an HR leader that, who's recruiting for, say, a C-suite or an SVP style position where there might be more oversight or scrutiny on, okay, are we considering diverse backgrounds and, how are we looking to round out and shape our team? But that position, usually that first promotion from kind of an individual member to the of a team to now having management responsibilities, that's often where some of the biggest bias lies.
Yeah, because it's done by the hiring manager versus sort of like the oversight of the HR team.
And to your point, men are often promoted based on the potential that they have or the potential that one sees in them, whereas women are more often promoted based on what they have achieved. And we see that. I mean, the data validates that statement. That assessment is true.
Yeah, and I think, we've talked about this before as well, where women in the hiring process or women in, I know for sure, startups, so startup founders who are fundraising, they will get comments around, do you plan to have a baby? So these young women, the hiring managers or the investors are already thinking, okay, but this woman's going to want to have a baby, and they're going to, they're kind of like planning your life out for you. So there's not as much confidence in what you might be able to achieve. So you have to prove yourself.
Right. Always bringing that that sense of achievement to the conversations, but not overachievement, right? Because you don't want to err on the side of, well, actually, yeah, I have accomplished a lot. And you're right, I am young. Like when I was early in my career, like under the age of 30 for sure, I used to lie about how old I was. I used to tell people I was older than I am. There, I admit it. Because I was so tired of people being like, oh, but you're so young. It's almost a sense of, well, I don't believe you, or clearly there must be something wrong with this, statement. But you're so young. And I was tired of hearing it. So I used to lie. Usually people now at my age, I would be lying to say I'm a lot younger.
Yeah, always lying about her age.
Right. But I used to tell people I was older than I was.
Interesting. Interesting. I haven't done that since I had a fake ID in high school.
You're still using it.
Yeah, I am.
Now I am like, yeah, actually I am 28.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious to hear from our audience if anyone has ever experienced something like this, where whether it's at a younger age or sort of at the further stages in their career, if you feel like you were discriminated against because of how old you are.
Yeah. It is an interesting comparison, albeit maybe not the best one, but I think if something that everybody can relate to is that avocado statement. I thought that was really funny that, particularly when looking at like women and promotion or opportunities for like career trajectory, it's like, no, not ripe, not ripe, not ripe, not right. Oh, shoot. Oh, overdone. Too ripe. Not ready, not ready, not ready. Oh, darn, I missed that one day when that avocado was going to be ready.
The one day I could get promoted.
The one day I could get promoted, and I'm too old. Always an interesting discussion. And I think as we lean into some of this data around ageism and discrimination and hiring practices, it's interesting to take a look at it and to question our own beliefs. And now to always wonder, is that person being truthful about their age?
Yeah. How old is she really? That's right.
Because you look so young. Thanks for joining us today.
And as always, keep saying the quiet part out loud.
The Quiet Part Out Loud is produced by Access Connects and brought to you by, oh wait, is there a sponsorship opportunity there? Learn more at accessconnects.com.